There we go. I am now unmuted. Hello, Internet. My name is DM Dragons, and I run the Golden Feathers of Team Tang. It's been a hot minute since I've been live, so, I'm not really sure if I remember how to do this or not. Totally crazy. Anyways, we are so glad to see you. Welcome to our lovely cast of folks here, and we are going to get right into it so that we have enough time to play this evening. Let's start going in reverse order. Mr. Reese and Bud, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am Amador, Michael, Mikey, whatever you wanted to be. I play Reese Inkfoot in this lovely game. I am our rogue of sorts, of a friendly person that likes shiny coins from drunk people's pockets. Yeah, I don't do much around here, but I play games. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm playing Prezira, the half-drow elf wildfire druid that I can never get all the way out without pausing. Just happy to be back. Happy to be moving this forward. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And Mr. Bull, good evening.
Hello, I'm Bold. Playing a Mountain Dwarf Eldritch Knight. I had to think about that for a minute. We're back. Hi.
We are back. we are indeed back. It's so nice to be back with you guys. None other than Damon himself. Hello, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, everyone. Hi, all. I'm Damon, DMA Gamer 79. You can find me somewhere. I am playing Tayo Doragon, your wood elf cleric, light cleric. Very much looking forward to the shenanigans.
I mean, we are in an archive. You're kind of a book boy, I guess we're just going to see where this goes from here.
We've got a lot of
somebody was hoping we didn't get into a regional war tonight, so I guess we'll find out what's going on. All right. Next up, we've got Brave. Good evening, sir.
Hi, I'm Brave. I'm playing the Kobold Cleric of Darkness, but not Darkness. And overall Gremlin.
Indeed.
Think about Kobold so much there.
Very, very gremlin, like, kind of, sort of. Good evening and welcome. And Dakota, could you round it out for us?
Hey, I am Dakota Orishiro. I am playing Noct in this game, who is a elf wizard. That's what I got for you. There you go.
Elf wizard. I think there's a lot of question marks around that, but we'll get into that, somewhere down the line. All right, so let's do a quick recap for our last game that we had. You all were in the city of Crossroads. You kind of milled around for a little while. Your loving kobold was shining his shiny axe, and shiny axe, told him that he was hungry. And so, when they were out and about doing things, he may or may not have saw a seedy type character in an alleyway doing some seedy type things. And perhaps bathed the axe in the red liquid that it was desiring.
Bathed in his blood. I bathed in his blood.
Yeah, something like that. To which pieces, if not all of the party, had just a miniature little bit of a freak out moment. Killing someone in sort of broad daylight, but at least in an alleyway. I mean, that there was that. Only to find that the town guard kind of overheard some of what was going on. Literally by the skin of your teeth and some really fancy talking, you were able to get out of going to jail that day. I'm not so sure that I would try to run that past them again, because you're probably going to end up in jail. Could almost guarantee it. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? So anyways, after that crazy situation, You finally made your way over to the Flickering Candle Archive, where some of the party really wanted to try to get in and find some answers to some burning questions that you've had since the beginning of the game, or at least throughout the game. We've had questions of Bahamut lore. We had questions of morality. We had questions about the Tiger Stone,
Law.
construction of the town, law. We have, just general questions about what maybe this big baddie could possibly be, or connections to what could be possibly going on here, as well as all kinds of other interesting things. And I think someone might be looking for smut. Possibly. We shall have to see.
And
So-
who might that be?
I don't know. I don't know. That's
Pretty sure it was
just
Riz.
pretty sure.
I have no recollection of that, sir.
No, pretty sure it was Riz.
Mm.
So you made your way in and you were introduced to the archive, the master archivist. Her name was Rashonda. She's an older silver-haired woman who is sitting behind a desk writing in a very large open tome. And she assigned you a young half-elven girl to help you guys. And I don't believe I wrote down her name, so it's going to be whatever we make it up to be tonight, unless somebody took notes of that. But she was instructed to gather whatever tomes or things that you needed or wanted or desired and bring them to your research table. They're in the central research area. They've just got a bunch of like long tables and things with oil lamps scattered about for your reading pleasure. She also instructed her that if you were to need to get into any of the off-limits books or areas, that that would require her personal approval and probably her going and getting them herself. So take that for what you will. That could be an interesting conversation.
What was her name again? Sorry, I wasn't writing fast enough.
Rashonda, Reshanda, Rashonda. And as we closed out our last game, which was over a month ago now, Ty, you were sitting down with a book that had like a circular scrolling on it, like you take a piece of twine and you wrap it around the little circle and it keeps the book closed. You had undone the book, and an image, your holy symbol on your chest, started to like feel warm and glow. And as you looked down at the book, there was a almost like a projection that started to like apparate out of the book, real low. Think of it as like one of those pop-up books when you open it. You know how it has the scene that pops up out of it, like it's all cut cardboard and stuff. Only this is like in your like divine light popping up out of this book. And for any of you sitting close to Ty, you can see this start to happen if you care to pay attention. And that is where we ended our last session, with some form or something starting to coalesce from this book. And that is where we are going to open it now. I'm going to preface this with one quick thing. I may have to step away for just a second to help my son with something. So if that happens, talks amongst yourselves, I'll fix it and come right back. So, but we're gonna play this out real quick before I go do that.
Okay.
If I'm close enough, I'd like to go ahead and preemptively say I'm gonna want to check Arcana, or I guess probably Arcana on that, or Ty, depending on what you're doing. If I can just offer a help action, I'm fine with that.
I'm mostly just looking and seeing what this is. Is it? I feel the warmth of the holy symbol, and I feel this projection. Is there a pull from the holy symbol?
So there's not a pull. It's basically like, I'm not sure if your character would ever run into this, but as a player, this would be like a wizard looking at a book where there's no writing there,
Mhm.
and they look down and like say cast detect magic or something, and then there's the writing on the page, or they have some sort of magical wash that they put on it, and it reveals the ink or whatever. Think
Okay.
of it more in that flavor.
I will.
So your divinity is kind of illuminating this thing.
I'm kind of letting things happen. I don't want to damage this book though. Trying to think what I can do. Well, there's one thing I can at least do for now. I'm going to pull out the pendant of the fervent light that just basically shines light for 30 feet. So I'm going to say it's going to get really bright in here, and I'm just going to throw it up above me and just let it say its word, and then let the light kind of shine down to see if that is allowing something.
When you take your pendant and toss it and activate the word to make it illuminate, as soon as that light bathes over the book, the image disappears.
Well, that's not good. Okay. Off light. Turn off the light.
It falls back into your palm, and when it hits your palm and that light disappears, the apparition comes back.
Okay, so that's not this. I'll put that back. And
it's like slowly starting to form into some discernible, like picture. Essentially,
I'm gonna keep looking.
I'm gonna walk over there whenever you start throwing up fucking lights and shit, and you're already your holy. Like, I'm walking over there first and foremost. I'll roll if I need to roll. Do I see anything on this book?
It's less of I need you guys to roll something as it's taking like just a moment to like pull itself together.
I'm just sort of waiting.
And you feel your symbol. It's not like trying to pull you to the book, but like you feel this like warm energy like coalescing in your body and then like projecting like out of your symbol onto the page, right?
Okay.
Almost like a conduit, really. Okay.
Okay.
So as you're sitting there and you're focusing on this moment, Ty, a scene appears in the book. There is a field, and it's a terraced field, and you see these like what look like bushes kind of starting to like appear in this terraced field, and then it kind of refines down a little bit more, and they're very well kept bushes. They're in rows, all of them, as far as you can see in this, like it depicts in like a very vast area. And as you're staring at it, and it kind of shifts views just a little bit with the sunlight now coming over a mountaintop, shining onto this field. There's something standing in the field. And you really concentrate, and you're really trying to dive down deep into it.
Mm-hmm.
And the more time you spend with it, you close your eyes for a second and you focus that conduit, that feeling. Roll me a d20. Just roll me a d20.
I'm gonna grab you. Mm-hmm. Fuck you. 11.
Okay. Grom, you're standing behind Ty, I'm assuming at this point, or somewhere close.
We're
Okay.
close. All up in his business.
So you've been together for a while, and you kind of know, like when you're compatriots are really focusing on something. And you watch Ty close his eyes, and he almost winces a little bit, not in pain, but like in like a struggle of like intense focus. And when he opens his eyes, you just see this, like, you see a tether between Ty and the book, and it's like this like flickering, translucent-y kind of like radiant energy just flowing between him and the book that's like creating this apparition on the page, and you see it start to like blip out just a little bit. What do you do?
Ty, I put my hand on your shoulder and just say, focus, I've got your back.
Okay, Ty, roll again.
I'm going to just do this way. Natural 20.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it.
Don't know what that means.
So as Gramgarn comes up behind you and rests his hand on your shoulder, and you're kind of like absent in the space for a moment, but you hear his voice like echoing in your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of shake your head a little bit and push past that fog. And as you're looking at the field again, and the sun coming over the mountaintop, you see a woman standing in the middle of this field. And she looks very intent on what she's doing. She's got a basket sitting next to her, and she's got something in her hand, and she's like looking through this bush. And then she reaches up and she clips something and puts it in her basket. And she looks it over again, and then she reaches up and she clips it again. And this goes on for a little while. And you see her turn her face kind of up towards you, and she's just got this beautiful elven complexion, very thin, narrow jaw, long golden hair. Her eyes are like piercing green, like emeralds that were on fire when the sun hits them. Just incredibly striking features. And you see her head turn to the side, just instantly, quickly, like a predator seeing prey for the first time. And you watch as this large, shadowy, beast-like entity just out of nowhere right next to her. And then you look to the other side and you see another one pops out of nowhere. And then behind her, a third one out of nowhere. And you watch as she turns into almost like a smoke. And as the smoke just like it evaporates into the air, but it like grows in size as it starts to coalesce again. And you watch this shape start to just elongate and become just massive. And then all of a sudden, all three of these entities just latch on to this smoke, and it just gets shoved down into this little vibrant, glowing golden ball. And then they just in an instant, they're gone.
What is this?
And the book slams shut.
Is that the tea lady?
And the connection gets severed.
What the fuck?
Welcome to your first book.
Kind of put my hand on. I'm whichever side you were on. Put your hand on my shoulder and say thank you. I don't know what that was. I'm assuming I've not had that happen before. Like, I'm just going to say that out.
Unless it's in your history somewhere, it has not happened here. So
I wouldn't have seen any of. Would I have seen anything on the pages, or was that essentially mind's eye for him?
I would say anybody who was standing there paying attention would have seen this because it was a projection on the paper itself.
Did anyone else see that?
Yeah, I feel like I probably would turn. Reese, Rig, Rex.
Reese is not there currently.
Yeah, we're not there. We got kicked
No.
out.
Oh yeah,
And
we
Rig
are.
is outside. Rig is outside pouting.
Well, I'm fine with that.
I'm
Right,
5 feet from you reading a bunch of books.
Yeah.
Yes, on the law.
Phased.
Not phased
I
at
am
all.
curious, Priz, to your point. They mentioned something about a tea lady. She was collecting
Something
something off of
she was-
bushes and
Yes, and she was possibly some sort of shapeshifter.
Ty, where did
So-
you find that tome? What
That was
in
just
what
it was just
context
one of
was
the
it?
tomes that were brought. It was just one of the tomes that were brought in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a title?
Yep.
What is the title?
I'm gonna look at the front of the book. It's just like that chord or symbol, right? Or is there something else on this book now?
No, there's nothing different on it except for you can read the title now, and it's just a generic book on the lore of Bahamut.
Okay.
It just standard, like he is the god of blah 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 blah.
I'm going
Can
to
we
open the
give-
book really quickly and just sort of look at the pages and just
It is an old text. It's several centuries old. It's in decent shape,
Mhm.
but there is literally like no lady, no gardens, no. It's literally just a tome of depicting like Bahamut as a religion and his followers and that sort of thing, like a religious recantation of that.
So that was not in this book.
Can we give a name to the research assistant?
Sure. We're gonna call her Faye.
Faye, cool. Faye, presuming she's nearby.
Oh yeah, she's standing behind Ty, with her mouth like wide open. She's never seen anything like that before.
Got it. Faye, a question for you. Do you, or does the library keep records on the origin of things in the collection? I'm curious where this one may have come from.
I'm certainly that would be a question for the master herself. I have never received or retrieved such a book, but I'm certain that there might be some record of things. You can ask if you like.
Sure. If you think it's best for you to ask her direct, or if you'd like to see if she has a moment free to join us, I'd certainly like to talk about this.
I will go at once and ask Rashonda. I will be right back.
Thank you.
She bows and backs up and then leaves.
That was different.
Well, at least this doesn't seem to happen often. She did seem genuinely lost, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'd be more concerned if this happened all the time, I suppose.
Fair.
Hi, did you get the feeling or the impression that she was trying to connect with you somehow? Like she was giving a warning or possibly asking for help?
Roll insight, Ty.
18.
You feel very strongly that this was your connection to your deity showing you something. This was less about the book.
Right. I will say that. I don't think this had anything to do with the book specifically. I don't think this had anything to do with Bahamut. Well, maybe it does, but I think there was some kind of premonition, post. It's not a post connection. I forget what it's called. Vision. Words are hard, y'all. Hi. It's been a minute. A vision of something that has either happened or is has happened or is to happen. I'm going to quickly write and then try to draw the woman.
Okay.
Just on some paper, just like write the features that I saw and then kind of like draw.
In your time in the monastery in different places, has Ty ever practiced drawing or any kind of art form that would be useful in this, or would this be you trying to stick figure this together?
I would say she's
I like I
got
remember you
knowledge.
mentioning drawing back in the end.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to something real quick. She's the goddess of
Sure, no problem.
knowledge and learning. So, you know what? I'm gonna leave it up to a die. I'm gonna say odd. Learning all aspects of art and culture is part of this. Odd as that, even if it's not. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So
I mean, yeah.
So you are then, yes.
Yeah, I would have done some art.
Okay.
I won't say I'm
You-
greatest at it, but I would
You
say,
sketch up what you believe is a fair representation of the lady in the vision. All right.
yeah. So just
So Faye returns with Rashonda at her side. Yes, dear. What can I do for you?
just out of curiosity, what is the Grant Garn? You said the origins or age of this book?
Yeah, potentially the origin, where the library may have received this in your collection from.
May I
anything about
see?
the origin? I would be curious.
I'll hand her the.
May I
tome.
see the tome?
I
And
will hand her the tome.
She reaches out a kind of a very old hand and takes it. She kind of rotates the book around and she looks at it and peeks into the cover and takes a quick second to read it. And she's like, if memory serves me correctly, I believe we got this particular tome from, hold on a minute here. Let me review my notes one second here. Ah, yes. This tome came from the temple in the Lotus Empire. I believe we lost our copy of a different one in the same vein, and they had one many years ago and sent us this one.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. That's
Is there anything else that I can help you with?
not at this moment, no. Well, actually, out of curiosity, do you all have any writings, transcripts, books pertaining to someone or something called the Tea Lady?
She thinks real hard for a minute. No, son, I can't say that I do. I don't remember anything about a tea lady. I have books on tea. Would you like one of those?
No. No, thank you. I appreciate that though.
Would you happen to have any books on shape-shifting or possibly smoke entities?
Oh, I'm certain that we have something on that, child. One moment, and she turns to Faye, and she says something in not common, and Faye looks at her and bows and runs off into the stacks.
What was the language?
It would have been Sylvan.
Okay, don't know that. Never mind.
And does anybody know Sylvan? You know Sylvan? All right, Priz.
Apparently I do.
She literally just tells her a couple of rows to go check for your request.
Would Faye ever, because I know we gave, and I don't remember what was included, we gave a very long list of stuff we wanted to know about, including the war with the ancients, the Tiger Stone, the city in general, Bahamut. Were any other books or tomes brought to us already that
Over time, like in the interim just before this issue would have arose, I would say a fair amount of those tomes would have landed at the table.
Okay.
There is a book on the construction of the city. There's a summary of the War of the Ancients, or like a
two questions?
not a
Construction of the
journal,
city-
but like a
construction of the city, as in before the war with the ancients or after?
a 2-part tale.
Interesting.
Ah.
Before, I think I'm just gonna pick up those two parts, and I'm gonna look at them, and then probably just look at Ty, be like, we gotta see, right? And then I'll just pass the tomes to him to have him open them first.
Am I your like book opener? Like,
You know, I don't know what that was, but we gotta
I'm
check.
rubbing off on everyone at this point.
everyone else is afraid of opening books now.
No, if it was like a connection with your deity that gave you like the vision, like I don't got one of those.
We don't need to interfere with that. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Agreed.
okay. Sure. I'll take the part 1 book and I will sit it on the table, and then I will just open it up, and then just start reading and slowly.
As you open that book, the very first thing you see is, "Hey Reese, you are underground. You are face to face with that individual.
I'm face to face with that individual.
Face to face with that individual.
What does he look like, or what do they look like? Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I think somebody's knocking at my door.
Hey, did you guys know that it's illegal to add extra weight to bread? Did you know this was like an illegal thing in
Did
this
you
city?
know?
Yeah.
Really?
Extra weight
Yeah.
to bread.
Yeah, you can't add extra weight to the bread in the city. It's illegal.
So you have to
In
basically
what
make
context?
bread as like with specific measurements.
Yeah. It's to regulate the price of bread due to wheat scarcity. So
Interesting.
adding extra weight to the bread is actually illegal in this city. So I've learned
Huh.
from these here books.
That's
Fascinating.
amazing. Did you
What?
not see any of the things that happened?
Nope.
Ah, okay, great.
Are sitting face to face with a round-faced tortoise man,
A turtle.
a turtle. He's got a very rounded jaw and 2 kind of scraggly teeth. He's very wide-shouldered, and you see like the peaking of a hilt out from behind his turtle shell. He's got a long scar kind of almost over his right eye.
Okay.
and he's kind of hunched over towards you because he's got a very like deeper, grovelly kind of voice, and it's really hard for him to be quiet. And even though you're underground, you're like, think of like a speakeasy,
Okay.
like a bar that's a bar, but no one knows that it's there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of hunched in talking to you, and he's like, "Look, I know you got the same note that I got, right?
Perhaps.
What are we going to do about this?"
Well, we have to do something about it. I'm in the works with a fair group of people. They can hold their own, most definitely. We're on a mission right now to do, well, I wouldn't say a mission, many missions. Besides the point. Either way, I was promised a great reward, and hopefully maybe use it to find my master.
Don't you think that it's a little weird that he's missing? Like, who? He leans in real close. He's like, I don't even know who is capable of doing such a thing.
More so the question of how. He's a master nonetheless. Something has to be of great power or of great something to make hit a person of him at his level disappear like that.
Look, I don't know what it's going to take to get him back, right? Probably a lot. Have you ever heard, and I'm going to go back to our conversation because I typed something
I have
that I
it pulled
can't
up.
remember. Cool. 1 second.
You're good.
Let me back up. I don't want to fuck this up. Here it is. Has Master ever told you about the Verdon's mindful scale?
Just small stories he would tell me as a young pupil. He says one day maybe you'll be able to don it, or I'll be able to don it. You can be a little prideish, you know.
Have you ever learned the lesson of when you want to hide something, you hide it in broad daylight?
Of course, it's the first lesson that Master ever taught me.
I just have a feeling that you're going to need that item. I have a feeling you're going to need that item moving forward to be able to slip into the places that you need to go to find the master to get him back.
You're bringing this up, obviously, because you might have a lead. Is that fair to assume?
I mean, you know how this goes. You know how this goes.
If you got a place, name it. Don't worry about the in-betweens. I think I could figure something out.
Look, maybe I know, but, and he like keeps sighing. He's like, I wasn't supposed to tell you about any of this until it was time for me to tell you about this. clearly our timeline here is a little accelerated.
Greatly. Very much so.
All right. And he looks around. Grab my notes here because I wrote this down too. Where did I write this? Oh, yes, over here. One moment. Okay. Across town, there's this really, and I mean really, fancy restaurant. And it's called the Succulent Truffle.
I got it.
There is a super just stuffy asshole who runs it. He goes by the name of Mr. Bissell.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're going to find your armor. Don't ask me how I know, because I ain't going to tell you. That's where it is. Now, I know what you're thinking. But you better damn well be ready if you're doing what I'm thinking you're thinking. Do you understand?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Oh, speaking of which, just a little follow-up question. Is this Mr. Bizzle worth something? Should I just ignore him altogether?
You got two options. The first option is loud and proud. The second option is you don't tell a fucking soul what you're doing. I'll let you figure out which way you want to go about this.
I see.
Hey,
what?
If it's any consolation, I want to see the master back too. But just understand that if you fuck this up, you may not make it out.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for me, my people, and my practice.
You watch as he takes his hand to come forward to shake your hand. And you know this secretive thing that happens with other. Am I allowed to say what you are yet, or do you want me to keep that under hat?
Oh, you can go right ahead.
Okay, I didn't know if we had mentioned that or not. This is the Soul Knife's handshake. And so an apparition of his hand comes out of his hand. And you the same. And you don't physically touch each other's hands, but your apparitions do. Your psionic. It's a psionic handshake.
Mm-hmm.
And as you pull your hand back, there's a piece of paper in your hand.
Okay. And in his hand would be like a little ornate coin.
And he'll flip it over in his hand and go, cool. That'll buy me drinks for pretty much forever in these seedy little taverns.
This is going to get me to the places I want to be. I kind of put it in my waistband or pouch.
Okay. Ty, you open up the book.
Uh-huh.
It's a book.
Okay.
It's got writing on it.
There's nothing.
I thought we
That's
saw
fine.
that whole scene play out on the front of the book. Since you transitioned right when you opened the book, I thought we were like observing.
So we didn't see any of this because I
That
was
whole
taking
scene.
notes.
Oh, no, I should have said cut away. I apologize. That's a big thing.
I was
We
like,
can
"Wait,
fix
there
that
it
next.
is?"
I was
No.
about to say if he can do this with all the books, let's get some smut.
I just show you all these visions of things that are happening.
We'll put that in the private chat. That'll be on the downloadable content only.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Yeah.
No, we come back to you guys at the archive.
Cool.
And Ty, the book is it's just it's a normal book, just with writing, and it's sectioned into two sections by just like this crimson piece of paper, like a printed page, just stuck in the middle, like a divider.
Right. There's nothing. It's fine. It's nothing. There's nothing. There's no other. I don't think there's any other visions. I think that was just maybe a sign that we're on the right track. Are a
Makes
vision
sense.
to guide us in a certain we're heading in the right direction, or we're guiding us into the right direction.
I guess I just wish that it had been more forthcoming in what direction we're going.
Maybe that's sometimes the fallacy of deities. Sometimes they speak in code and give riddles. Sometimes they provide you with visions that you don't understand yet, but maybe will understand in the future.
Tony, from these two tomes, my priority and what I'm trying to figure out, general overview, two things I suppose. Overview of War with the Ancient Ones, aka who are the major players? Do we know, like, on the Ancient Ones side, who was suspected to be involved? And B, on the reconstruction of the city, we know, I have in my notes the end, that there was a painting from like 8,000 years ago, and then also something about the Tiger Stone was brought to the city 7,000 years ago after the War with the Ancient Ones. So I'd like to know about the Tiger Stone. More specifically, I want to know about the reconstruction effort. So who the this was vastly expensive, obviously, and like very high leveled. So like, where the hell did all of this come from? And essentially, why does the city, like 80% of its population was decimated and it was rebuilt on the grandest scale imaginable? What?
Okay. So I will get you a list of the names for the ancients portion of this, which I'll need to write out for you. But here is a brief summarization as to what happened. So it talks about the two sisters being born from fire. And they were split apart at birth. Okay. And they shone with great brightness. And you would surmise after reading a little bit, and it's kind of almost like in parable form a little bit. So like a story more of than like a straight fact kind of a book. So it tells you a tale of the two sisters born of fire, ripped apart, shone brightly. And you surmise by reading the passage a little further that it's talking about two stars in the night sky, basically, right? That orbit each other, or they are conjoined, or like binary in some way, right? And it talks about the creation or the coming of being of that plus the entire universe. And it talks briefly about the one who created it, who formed it of its own thoughts, its own apparitions. Like this being literally just thought these things and it just came into being. But it was lonely. And it didn't understand its loneliness. And so it created others. Others who were immensely powerful. but not as powerful as the one. And they took form and shape and took on different aspects of life within this universe. Creation, nature, storms, knowledge, all of the things that are representative in the material plane as it is known today, and even in the exterior planes. Things, beings came to be that lorded over those things, that were given power and responsibility to see those things brought to being. And then those two were lonely because they were separated from one another. And it doesn't really give a like a tangible reason for their separation. But from that was born the creation of mortals. And as the mortals were implanted into this, for lack of a better term, system or universe, different aspects of these beings grew in power through faith. And so some rose in station while others diminished in station. And those who diminished fell hard and became what is known today as the betrayers. Or, you know, in normal terms within D&D games, the betrayer gods. And they were jealous. And so they sought to sow the world and undermine the ones who rose to power through faith. And over time, they started a massive war amongst these beings, gods, if you will. And this spilled over into the mortal plane. And there were scars left on the planet from this fight. One of them being Crossroads. And it goes on to say in the ending of the book that Crossroads was the final battle amongst this War of the Ancients. And up until this point, the One did not interfere in the conflict. Up until the point that the betrayer gods were going to win this fight and all of creation was going to be destroyed and the universe was going to be returned to a lonely, cold, dark place. And having pity upon this, the One acted. And in doing so, stopped the war. However, from that time forward, no one has seen or heard any mention or any written text or any connotation of the One ever again throughout history. They are never mentioned ever again. And so as a tribute to that selfless sacrifice of removing themselves from essentially from a place of power, the Crossroads was rebuilt with the most perfect thing that the mortals could come up with here on this continent, which was Tigerstone. And that's why the mass concentration of Tigerstone exists today here. They essentially exhausted 99% of its availability here. That's why it's so rare everywhere else too, because there is none left. They used it all. So there you go. There's a lore dump for you.
Quite the lore dump.
I am never going to make sense of any of that.
You could just watch it back and rewrite it about 50 times.
I'm going to, and it's still not going to work because like the way, Because if I don't write while I'm getting a lore dump, I won't remember any of the lore dump, but also I know that none of that writing is going to ever make sense again.
Sweet.
There we go. But you've got something.
Yeah.
And you have someone who is reading the book alongside you, who has the keen mind feat.
That is a beautifully expensive monument.
Rig, you are sitting outside along the building. You've got your little bag of tricks and gizmos and gadgets that help you shine up racks. And you're maybe not the happiest little kobold right now, having to stay outside and just do, but you do love shining racks. It's like one of your favorite things to do. And so you're just outside doing your thing, talking to racks, watching the people walk by. Huh?
I thought I had a keeper somewhere.
Prezira does come outside at some point, but we're kind of coming to you before she gets to you.
Okay.
So
Take me away.
As you're, yeah, take me away. Anyways, you're sitting there, and you're cleaning the various little jagged bits, and kind of muttering to yourself a little bit. You're like, you hear Rex come into your mind, and he's like, Rig, I have a question for you. What do you want? What do you want?
What does Rig want?
What does Rig want?
Nobody asked Rig what Rig wants. Rig wants racks.
Yes, I know that. Yes. But do you know what I want, Rig?
What does Rex want?
I want to return to the life that I had a long, long time ago. But the only way that I can do that is if you and I grow strong together. Does that make sense?
Rig be strong. Be strong with Rax. Rax is the strongest, the prettiest, the shiniest, the glorious.
Yes, all of that. But hear me out. I will give you all of the strength that you need to help you grow.
Rig strong.
However, you need to check with me before we do anything significant out in broad daylight. Do you follow what I'm saying, or do I need to be more specific?
Specific.
Okay. I love it when you kill people. Okay? It feeds me, it satiates me. And you hear this like it's almost like that. Just
Gives me a little
you're
tingle.
drinking. Yeah, you're like drinking the best wine you've ever had in your life, and you're just savoring that moment, right? But we have to do it in the right way. Because if while you're growing, someone sees you do something that you're not supposed to do, like murder people, they will take you away from me. And then we both lose.
Well, Rig will not be separated from Rax, but Rig could work on his ritual skills for Rax.
Good boy. You look up and you see Reese coming down the street.
Why isn't it my favorite little kobold?
Hi, Reese.
Hi, Rig. You look like you're a little lost in thought. Is everything okay there?
Prazira,
Oh,
you kind of show up around about this time too.
Rig is okay. Rig having a good time with Rex here. We're just hanging out. We're not allowed to go with books because we burned them.
You burned the books?
He burned the books.
First off, who let him get near an open flame?
We didn't exactly let him. He kind of created it all on his own.
Well, I'm very proud of you, Rig, if you created it on your own.
Don't be.
The flames absorb knowledge.
There was that.
Did you absorb all the knowledge, Rig?
I think so. Rax knows. Rig doesn't get the knowledge, but Rax gets the knowledge, so it's an offering to Rax.
Rick, have you been behaving yourself this past hour?
Rig thinks so. Rig has been right here.
So you haven't moved?
Bottle. No.
He's behaved.
Okay. Good to see there's no blood about. That's good. Good sign.
Very good signs. Maybe. Why do you need why do you need more blood? Let's tackle that question first.
It's a nice color.
I don't know how to respond to that. Okay. Well, since I have the attention of you beautiful people, I need a favor.
Rig, do favor for Reese?
Be careful with that.
Yes, a favor. A good favor. You see, there's something I need, and it will help me in my endeavors. I usually don't speak up very much. I don't ask for a lot, but this is something that is extremely important to me. Like, I could give you one of my fingers if it's that important to me.
Ooh. Is it tasty?
Yes. Yes, it is. But you have to help me first.
Oh, withhold the drooling.
You see, there's look, I trust both of you greatly. I think I'm just gonna kind of lay it out for you. There's a specific artifact, if you will, that is
shiny,
very shiny. There's probably be more shinies in there too, so you'll get a finger and more shinies.
Reese did promise Rig shinies.
But you see, and this is the part that might get a little iffy for you, Priz. We kind of have to take it from someone.
Gold?
Yeah, you remember when we were hanging out in the tavern and we took some money? We're holding it for them.
That was fun. Rig still has it. Rig, keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. But you see, this artifact is important to my practice and to
your
me.
Practice.
We'll get to that part in a little bit. But yeah, we gotta go across town, potentially take something from someone. He's probably not a good person, if that helps sweeten the pot a little bit.
Reese, you kind of missed when we nearly got arrested earlier. I don't really know if it's a smart idea to draw attention, especially to Riggs at this point.
Well, that's a fair point. Look, I guess I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm gonna do this regardless, but I have faith in you, Riggs, and the rest of the crew to help me do this. It's important for me because it will help me find somebody. I need to find this person. They're my everything. They're who made me the way that I am. They are who shaped me into the Owlin that I am today. And this is the only means of doing so.
Oh,
And-
Reese's Rex.
Who is this person?
I don't want to really to tell you yet, but I promise and I pinky swear while I still have it, that I will tell you everything. But I need this. I need this armor. I need this artifact.
You like shiny.
If I have to
Like
get down on my
nudges
knees, Priz,
Zero.
I will.
What are you asking specifically of us?
Okay. There's this restaurant across town, aptly named the Succulent Truffle. It's ran by a guy named Mr. Bizzle. Sounds like a dickhead, but he's holding on to an extremely important piece of armor that is significant to soul knives, my kind, my people, my practice, and I need it. It's the only way I can get it. It's the only way I can feasibly, and yeah, I don't know what much to say. That's it. I'm not lying to you. I'm not pulling a quick one on you.
Was it stolen from you?
Um
Does it belong to this individual?
it was probably bought by this individual, more than likely. I can probably safely say it was probably stolen. People that usually run around in my circle or associate with my circle don't particularly have the best intentions, and they're usually either prideful and they want to show off the next best thing or the coolest, shiniest piece of metal, and this dickhead happened to have it. And he happens to have the one thing that I need.
Riggs, what are you wanting to do here, darling?
Rig is with Reese. Reese is why Rig is here. Rig will follow Reese where Reese wants to go because he promised Chinese.
Okay, I will come along primarily to keep Rig in check.
That's fair.
I can't thank you enough. Truly, from the bottom of my heart. Should we tell the others?
Do you want to?
I think
Dilemma.
we should.
Pops up.
I think
ready
we
to
should.
go.
I don't think we should hide this information from them.
But fewer numbers might work out better in this specific situation.
True. I'm just really eager, you know? It's been a second. I need to steal something. Okay, let's go.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God.
Come on, Priz. And I kind of like pat her on the back and like start motioning her. It's going to be great. We're not going to get in trouble. Look, we got Riggs. Riggs, we're going to do great, aren't we?
Yeah, Rig do great, but also maybe trouble.
Look, Rick, all I'm saying is if it goes to shit, you can kill somebody. We'll be all right.
No. Do not encourage him.
Okay.
Rig,
I'll
you can
behave.
kill someone if it's absolutely necessary, okay? But otherwise, no. And not in front of people.
Rig, you just hear this like deep inhale inside your head.
I mean, friends left Rig out here where he's lonely and outside. But
It wasn't personal, Riggs. It's because you set fire to a book after we were told not to touch anything.
I'm just saying, or Rig saying. Rig was told to work with friends, and only some of friends are here.
Oh.
Do we need to tell friends, or will Rig get in trouble?
Aw.
I mean, he has a fair point, Priz. I mean,
What
yes.
is Rax saying about this, Riggs? I know that that's who you're really listening to.
Rax's opinion was like this.
That literally tells me nothing.
It could be a sigh of relief.
It could be a sign of just extreme frustration and annoyance. I would bet he hears that sigh a lot.
That's kind of mean. Riggs is not like that. He's a humble little kobold. Look at him.
Look. I have nothing but pure affection for Riggs. Okay, and for Rax. I respect Rax. But he is a troublemaking little son of a bitch. You have to admit that. He killed someone in broad daylight in the square.
Rick
But
believes it was an alleyway.
Wherever the hell it was.
The alleyway makes a big difference.
We got there after everything had gone down.
The alleyway makes a big difference, Priz. You do understand that, right? If it was in the middle of the town square, then I'd be like, shit, the ship sailed. Shit's gone to,
Fine, he did it.
Reese, what's your passive perception?
Let's see what my little owl eyes say. My passive perception is 16.
The longer you stand here and have this conversation, the more people start slowing as they go by you to try to dip in on it.
I kind of give him a dirty look, keep moving. Don't rubberneck. You're holding up traffic. Pass on.
Sorry.
I'll stick my little fella over here on you.
Stop it.
Anyways, the topic of friends. I personally say, let's bring them into the mix. Yes, more bodies is a little bit more muddier for the water, but we all have our own set of skills that we present to the table, and I feel like if we're going to at least, do a crime, or I say really low, do a crime, as the normal people say, buddies. We work. Wow. Okay. We,
Totally
again,
missed what he just did.
they both had
Show 'em.
buddies.
Oh, look at you two. Look at you two.
It's fake.
Winning over here.
If you're going to bring in the others, especially Ty, okay, could you at least be pretty straightforward with them about what's going on?
Fine.
Ty doesn't seem like someone who would want to willingly go into criminal activity.
That's why we call him the lookout.
Rick prefers distraction.
We'll get there when we get there, okay? One thing at a time, and you bring a lot of distraction to the table.
It's Ocean's Cobalt. Here we go.
So let's bring the other two out and let's get this situated. I hope you guys have fun on your first heist.
They're inside.
The heist now. It's no longer a liberation.
Whatever.
Reese, this is your brilliant idea. Go in and get them.
Okay, I
Okay.
kind of like
Talk amongst yourself for a minute. I will be back in just a minute.
I kind of like do a little. I like stop at the door and go, ma. Okay, and I open the door. I enter.
Sorry, what was that again?
Okay.
You know,
Getting prepared. Ruffling the feathers.
mm-hmm. Kind of fix myself, kind of being a little bit more presentable.
Preen, you
Has
Riggs, sit down.
wow. I
Deal.
enter.
I just wanted to feel
Obviously looking for Graham and Ty.
Yeah,
Um,
we are probably deep in books. Like
Oh yeah,
there's paper. There's
we are so content.
yeah. You have no idea.
and like Reese would come in between you two, like putting his arms on both of your shoulders and be like, "Hey guys."
For my side, I would not stop reading.
Reese, hey, where? Oh, welcome back.
Thanks. Guys, exciting news, exciting plans.
Literally put
I
my
need-
finger down on a book, like just like where I last read, and I'm like holding it and just looking. Yes.
I need cashing in a favor. I really need your help. I'm gonna be honest.
Why does this sound like something you don't want to ask us because you don't think we're going to like?
That's
Grab-
exactly what it sounded like.
Well,
Yeah.
and I kind of like pull away a little bit, and I like now presenting to you. Graham, I think
So
you
envisioning,
might.
like, setting up a whole presentation.
There's like a whiteboard. I got a marker in the corner.
I've literally turned in my chair with my finger still on the book, like looking
I've
right
set
at
the
you.
hammer on the book and I'm just rapping.
Yes.
Graham, I think you might you might like this idea. You look
I'm
like
listening.
the kind of person that likes adventure. Ty, on the other hand,
That
anyways,
feels judgmental towards both of us, but carry on.
no, it's not that mental at all. Wait until I get to the good stuff. So you know how there's things in your cultures, or you know, things that are in close practices that are important to people.
Right.
I found one of them, and I need to go get it. Here's the kicker. It's owned by somebody who has this lovely little foodie spot called Succulent Truffles by a shady character named Mr. Bizzle. And I was wondering if you two can bring your wonderful set of skills to maybe help me. And I kind of lean in, steal it.
I
high
was
stick,
wondering
you
where
will.
you got enough money to buy something from. Okay. Why?
Okay. I
Yes.
gave Priz the whole spiel, and I guess I'll give you guys. It's just I need to find somebody important to me, and this is probably my only way to do that. Plain and simple.
Has
This-
this person that's in possession of it wronged you in some way? Are they a threat to you? Have they wronged your family? Why do they have something that is important like this to you?
They probably stole it from the last person who had it, who was the rightful owner to it, let's say. You see, people who work in my circles, hang out in my circles, you know, dabble in my circles, aren't the kindest of people, or for that matter, are deserving of something of this I guess you could say prestige.
Hmm.
I don't ask for a lot of help. It's probably one of the things I struggle with. And
Understood.
I told Prezera too. If I have to get on my knees, I can. I've offered a finger to Rig. I'm desperate.
Off the or out of character, I had to sit here and go through and double check my alignment because I could not remember. I was like, I feel like I remember, but I'm not 100%.
It's a little important.
Yeah. Reese, if this, I understand needing to connect with where you're from. I understand how challenges like this can be. I trust you. You've helped us. You've been there for our friends. Can you commit to me that as best as possible, innocence will not be involved
Oh,
in this?
I can guarantee you, innocence will not get involved. That is not how I. That is not how I work. Neither that is my intentions. I simply want the armor in and out as clean as possible.
I trust you. You have my hammer. If I can finish reading first.
Do you need to do this now?
Preferably.
Okay, if
Would
we
you
stay
prefer
on
the
good
cover of
terms
night?
with the library to come back.
Ooh, that is a fair choice. That's a good point there, Ty. Night is good. I'm just, look, it's
You look
extremely
very
important.
eager.
I'm
I can
extremely
tell
eager.
from your I can tell from your posture. I also have a passive insight of 17, but
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not hiding. Reese is not hiding any amount of. I want to go steal this. I mean, even if it is important to me, I want this.
No, you've got me.
Ty, I know this is not something you'll do every day or shit, probably even in your lifetime. But
you underestimate me, Reese Inkfoot. While I am a person of faith, as it were, oftentimes that means doing something good for someone. If it is good, I'm going to look you like square in the eye. There is no evil intention behind this.
I promise. Look, if I wanted to be evil, I would have already done it. I don't think it's very hard to imagine my line of work, what I do, before I've met all of you. If I wanted something to happen, it would have happened.
Very true.
I'm so excited.
I want to say I will aid you in this quest, but in the end, if this fucks us over, you and I will have a problem. Understand?
Look, all I gotta say is it literally cannot be worse than what Rig did in an alleyway.
I just
Dude.
like
Really setting the bar there.
right? Like his eye, like the minute you say that, he's like, so fine. We can assist you. I will assist you. I think the others have agreed. We can help, but I do think ask when like you mentioned a restaurant. Do you? Let me check something before I say something out of turn, because I think I did pull that spell before I say anything. Prepared spells. I did.
Oh, you and your prepared spells.
Yes.
Well, if you didn't prepare it, if you think about it, reading a book isn't considered like extraneous activity, so you
That's
could
true, actually. You can
prepare
prepare it
after.
now.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I did actually. Can you, if you can describe or name this object that you are looking for, I can potentially locate it.
I can give you the exact name.
What range do you need to be in for that time?
1,000 feet.
It,
But-
meta, it is across town, or
Yeah,
I don't know if I.
Yeah, you may have been. You mentioned the sucking the tuffle. We heard like Dragon's conversation. We know. We're just gonna say we knew. That's the whole.
You set up
I
a
know.
whole presentation.
Yeah,
The whiteboard.
I changed outfits. I was in a suit and tie. I was like, look,
yes. Look.
You pulled
I'm
a clicker out
unpaid.
from under a wing, like
Yeah.
laser pointer.
Look, man, I'm just the intern. Like I was told to bring this presentation.
Next slide.
Fuck.
Click. Next slide. Click. No. But yes, that is something I can potentially do. Of course, I have to be with you to to find it. But that would be something, unless it's hidden, unless it's covered. If it's blocked by something lead, particularly specific.
Well, I can unblock it if it's blocked by something lead.
Yeah.
3
Lead,
inches of lead and
Yeah.
1,000 feet of stone.
I just bounce
Yeah.
the hammer a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't thrown it in a while, actually.
But yes, the idea, if that is something that I can potentially help you with, while I'm not the best stealthy person.
You could be the lookout. We don't worry.
Oh, actually,
We always need a
I
hammer.
forgot. I did. Never mind. This is a different character. My bad. I'm not the best at stealth, but I don't have that disadvantage that I would if I were wearing heavier armor, as it were. That part. Yes, I
Yeah.
Well, while we have the extra time, Reese, what kind of fight are we talking about?
A fight? Oh, we don't have to fight. We can sneak in there at night. Ty kind of mentioned that. I think that's probably the best idea. We can go loud and proud. I mean, I don't.
A little bit in my armor.
We can go. We can march straight into there. I don't think Fizz would be appreciative of that though. She's already kind of.
So not to break in and cause a ruckus, but I have a sick child that just popped up out of literally nowhere. So we are going to go ahead and have to end for the evening, unfortunately. However, we are going to come back in 2 weeks and we're going to revisit the heist, not heist?
Heist.
Definite heist.
Definite heist.
And we are going to find out what is going on when we come back for that next time. I do apologize to our viewers and to my cast. Fortunately, life is what it is right now, right? So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and sign off out of here. I know we normally do a send out, but tonight we're just going to go ahead. Thanks, because I have to boogie. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks here on the Golden Feathers of Tea and Tang, where we're going to play a little extra long and see what happens with all of this. Until next time, much love.